following is from Heather Cox Richardson's June 1st newsletter. It's mildly edited for brevity, and I am sharing this as a message for Republican Congresspeople today. On June 1st, 1950, Senator Margaret Chase Smith, a Republican from Maine, stood up against Republican Senator Joe McCarthy of Wisconsin and his supporters who were undermining American democracy in a crusade against communism. When she was elected to Congress, the U.S. was still getting used to the New Deal government that Franklin D. Roosevelt had ushered in to combat the Great Depression. Smith's party was divided. Those who wanted to slash the government back to the form it had taken in the 1920s when businessmen ran it had a problem. American voters liked the business regulation, basic social safety net, and infrastructure construction of the new system. To combat that popularity, the anti-New Deal Republicans insisted that the U.S. government was sliding toward communism. On February 9, 1950, during a speech, Joe McCarthy claimed that he had a list of 205 communists working for the State Department and that the Democrats refused to investigate these traitors in the government. Senator Smith recognized the damage McCarthy and his ilk were doing to the nation with their wild accusations. Following is a segment of her speech to Congress 4 months later. I would like to speak about a serious national condition. It's a national feeling of fear and frustration that could result in national suicide and the end of everything that we Americans hold dear. I speak as a Republican, I speak as a woman, I speak as a United States Senator, I speak as an American. Those of us who shout the loudest about Americanism and making character assassinations are all too frequently those who, by our own words and acts, ignore some of the basic principles of Americanism. Freedom of speech is not what it used to be in America. It has been so abused by some that it is not exercised by others. Senator Smith wanted a Republican victory in the upcoming elections, but not with a Republican regime, quote, that lacks political integrity or intellectual honesty. That would prove equally disastrous to the nation. I do not want to see the Republican Party ride to political victory on the four horsemen of calumny: fear, ignorance, bigotry, and smear. I doubt if the Republican Party could do so, simply because I do not believe the American people will uphold any political party that puts political exploitation above national interest. Surely we Republicans are not that desperate for victory. I do not want to see the Republican Party win that way. While it might be a fleeting victory for the Republican Party, it would be a more lasting defeat for the American people. Surely it would ultimately be suicide for the Republican Party and the two-party system that has protected our American liberties from the dictatorship of a one-party system. As an American, I condemn a Republican fascist just as much as I condemn a Democrat communist. They are equally dangerous to you and me and to our country. As an American, I want to see our nation recapture the strength and unity it once had when we fought the enemy instead of ourselves. It is high time we stop being tools and victims of totalitarian techniques that, if continued here unchecked, will surely end what we have come to cherish as the American way of life. 4 years later, the Senate condemned McCarthy, and while Senator Smith was later awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom, McCarthy has gone down in history as a disgrace to the Senate and to the United States of America.